The Pioneer Football Show with head coach Jerry Odom. Complete coverage of Pioneer football. 2020 hindsight with coaches and player interviews, along with the numbers behind the scoreboard. The Pioneer Football Show with Pioneer coach Jerry Odom. Now, Brian Staten.
The Pioneers travel to historic Lexington, Virginia to take on the Virginia Military Institute Keydets. Hello, everyone. I'm Brian Staten with Pioneer coach Jerry Odom for our Pioneer Football Show. Virginia Military Institute Southern Conference back into the Southern Conference for the first time in 10 years after being members of the Big South. Catawba last year went up and defeated this Virginia Military Institute team, which put them part of the FCS longest losing streak of 25 games. Much better team than their record would indicate, obviously, this year as you go into the Southern Conference and look at the teams that they had been very close with during the season. And the Tusculum Pioneers go in hoping to continue that streak as well. The Keydets, however, get the 20-11 victory, joined again by Pioneer coach Jerry Odom. Talked about their vaunted passing attack. Reese Udinsky, 172 yards passing, which is 150 yards below his season average. You knew you had a good defensive game plan going in, just didn't get the offensive consistency that we wanted in the contest.
Yeah, that, and I think the whole game comes down to a couple plays. You know, we get caught from behind on a kickoff return that we, you know, if we score, then it's a one-possession game. We don't get any points out of that. And then we didn't get off the field on third down, and we couldn't stay on the field on third down. I think that was the biggest thing. 10 of 18 for them on third down is way, way too much. We killed ourselves on some things. They made some plays and some other times. But then offensively, kind of the same thing. Just didn't make enough plays on third down. When we got behind the sticks, we just got to play better in that aspect of it. And they gave us some funky stuff, and that we didn't handle very, very well. But, you know, I thought we played hard. I really did. I thought we played really, really hard. I thought our effort was outstanding. Our guys really wanted to win the game. They were into it. They were there to win it. They were certainly disappointed in the way we played in certain aspects. But in other aspects, we played very, very well. So I think we have to take those things, learn from them, and then get ready for a good Wingate team this week.
Hey, Pioneer football team, as we take a look at the highlights of Tusculum and VMI, that again talked about, Coach Odom talked about just the third down conversions, difficult from both sides of it, offensively and defensively. The way we're breaking this down, we'll have offense and defense. Let's start with the offense. And what we talk about a lot is first down, we would win it because we'd get 11 or 12 yards, but then the next series of downs, we'd only gain maybe about 8 or 9 yards.
Yeah, run the outside zone there early. Good job by Pratt. Try to get some points, make it simple. Go for it here on fourth down. I was trying to go for it, and we get wadded up. They cut us trying to run the power, and they stop us there. But then we're able to get a 3 and out and kind of turn the tide a little bit off of that, or get an interception anyway. D gets an interception. But then we come back and we keep running the ball on them. I mean, we averaged, about 5 yards a rush, over 200 yards until we started taking some sacks. So I thought we ran the ball really, really well. I thought Jake Moss played good. As far as the receivers go, Tommy just didn't have his best game. That's really what it comes down to. He didn't play his best. I think he'll tell you that too. Hit a little draw right here for a first down. I thought it was a good call by Ferg because they were dropping 8. That's a good way to do it, especially if they're not gaming the front very much off the draw. Have a chance right here, but then we take a sack. You got a lot of time right there. If you don't know it right there, we kind of got bailed out by our kicker because that was kicked a long field goal there right before the half. But come back out, run the toss. We're able to get outside with Pratty there for a nice gain. Come back, try to throw the bootleg on the crosser. But if you look, the post and the crosser by the tight end were wide open. But I think he kind of just decided he was going to throw that one because we did practice that in the week.
That was the turning point there.
A little bit, yeah, because if we had completed that, I think we had a chance. But we do get a first down here. To Sean Davis, nice effort there on a little crossing route on first down. Come back out right here, again, running the ball. Now this time they kind of wad. Maxwell's got to stay inside. If they bring it off the edge, you can't let them get you wadded up. We end up getting a field goal block on that one that really came off the edge, and our operation time's got to be a little better. Run a counter right here. Believe that was a shippy on the counter. Very well blocked play. Ship makes a good cut outside. Come back here, go play action pass, and again, we just take a sack. We get sacked. Now this one, they brought somebody. We didn't pick it up very good. This led to a short field score for them, which kind of stunk, even though we battled them all the way down the field. And then, come here, a little draw, cut it back, pretty nice little run, gets us 8 or 9 yards, gets us into third man. So that's after a 15-yard penalty on a crack that was, to me, was just awful. And then what a great catch by Lorenzo Pratt. Go empty, Lorenzo down the seam, just competes for the ball. We get it. But unfortunately, we don't get any points out of this. We 4 downs from the 5. We don't usually get stopped 4 downs from the 5. Our red zone offense has been outstanding this year. We just didn't execute. Come out, this is a 4th down play, and a good throw. Brian was going to catch it, and the guy plays right through his hands, makes a great play. And, we don't get points there, but I think we did get a safety on the next play when we had them backed up, I believe. But, that was kind of a bummer. Come back out, another take a shot type deal here. Great catch by Carter Mangold right in front of me, drags his foot. He's getting better every week. Really like him as a football player. Think he's got a bright future next year also. Then, we got plenty of time here. Finally get it out to Pratt. Great cut right there. He breaks off one for, about 25 or 30. So, there are times we really move the ball, but then there's other times we just, we missed a read or whatever. And we, really the pass blocking for the most part was pretty good. A little juke route right here in the middle by, I believe that's Jake Moss for a 1st down. So now we're down to the 15-yard line. And like I said, we get the field goal block. We don't get any points. We're on the 15 here. Very easily could have won this football game. Played well enough in things. We've been so efficient in the red zone, and we just weren't this week. But right here, great. This is an unbelievable catch, and this kid's got unbelievable ball skills. A.J. Bellinger goes up, right hand, gets his left foot down. Probably one of the best catches I've seen all year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty special right there. And he's a special young man. I really like our young receivers. All those guys are really good football players.
All right, that's our offensive side of things. It didn't really work out. The Pioneers, though, the 3-headed juggernaut of Shippey, Pratt, and Joseph did combine to go 198 yards. Pratt, who had 262 all-purpose yards against Carson Newman, had 248. As far as the Pioneer defense was concerned, you know what? This is a team that battled this group. An offense 3rd in FCS comes in passing attack, and boy, we did not give a lot of very easy things to them.
No, we didn't play the run as good as I'd like us to play it. They ran some counters on us, and we were down Randy Hooks. Like right here, they pop one, and we're running a blitz, and all our defensive end has to do is stay in this gap. Josh Forrest pops over the top too fast, creates a seam. They get one. This is right after we go for it. They take a shot. Great play by D. Alford right there, high point the ball for an interception. D's a great corner, played very, very well for us this year. I thought both our corners played well this week. David Johnson had a bunch of good plays. Come right here, we blitz. We hit them. This is on a 4th and 7. That's just a great throw and catch. I mean, we got good coverage there. The kid gets hit right as he throws a dime to the outside. Great catch. But they come out, on 1st and 2nd down, we stone them, then they go bootleg. I think we got him, and somehow he slipped through us right there. And I thought he stepped out of bounds, but obviously he didn't. So that was our first score. Second, we get C.J. Bartley gets a sack. They were slide protected, empty protection. We tried to read that, had a good little deal off that. Really good coverage right here. They don't have anybody open. Kind of get a coverage sack right there. Then they come down, and this is after, I believe, after a turnover, and this is the 1st down play, and they get all the way down to the 5. No, it's after that long pass. Excuse me. Yeah. Then we battle. We got them 3rd and 5 right here, and I knew the route. It was going to be a slant whip. This is the number 1 route they run at a 2x2. We went over on Thursday. We ran it on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we grab. And I can't explain that. You know what's coming. If you look at the bottom, our other safety played it perfect. So then they get the ball on the 1-yard line or half-yard line, end up punching it in on us. It just struggles because that could have been a field goal opportunity where they're going to kick a field goal. And again, another thing that changes the game. And that's what it came down to. 3rd downs, we didn't get off the field. They made plays when we didn't. We made silly plays to keep them on the field at times. And that's where we've got to grow as a team. Our football IQ, everything that goes about it.
You know, there was one point in the game for VMI from the second quarter to the third quarter where they went 7 of 8 on third down or fourth down combined. I'm not talking about third down and 2 either. We're talking third down and longs. And I think that's the thing that's driving you more crazy.
Yeah.
But that team that just got hot, I think, there, and we couldn't slow them down. But again, you have this opportunity late in the contest to come back and win this game because you go for the 2 points late. You didn't execute the onside kick, but you hold them at a 3 and out. And just didn't execute some things offensively. You mentioned Tommy, and let me just add to his numbers, 16 of 35, but his best numbers were in the fourth quarter. He started going in the fourth quarter. It was the first 3 quarters were they throwing a lot at him that he didn't expect.
No, I don't think so. I just think it was hard. It's kind of a funky defense. They play the kind of they line up in the Arizona flex
right.
one time. You know,
yeah.
they run like a 3-3 concept, and then they run robber coverage, and it's just not something you see a lot. So I think he had trouble with the drop 8 stuff, and the windows just are like when they're rushing 3, the windows are a lot smaller, obviously, and he struggled with that a little bit initially, and then I maybe just kind of, as the game went on, he felt more comfortable with it and what we were trying to do out of it.
A team that was able to run the football against the Pioneers, and I think that also kind of threw you for a loop a little bit because you still wanted to go. And knowing that they could pass, you wanted to be able to stop the run. How much did Randy Hooks really affect the running game there?
It hurt. I mean, Chris did, he stepped in and played the best of his ability, because Jackson – is probably a year away from being where I want him to be. So we went ahead and went with Chris just because they were going to spread things out, a little bit more athletic and run around. But he didn't play like he's playing with a torn labrum. I mean, the guy's playing with a torn labrum, and he wasn't as physical maybe as probably he could have been in the past. And we didn't make enough plays. We had him. The kid runs for 123 yards or 130 yards or whatever, but then the quarterback got us. We had him dead to rights in the pocket about 5 different times where we couldn't get him on the ground because we didn't bring our feet or whatever the case, and he runs for 39 yards, and that's 39 you don't expect. The 120, I could live with that because they had 2 30-yard runs, and then he ran 28 times for one, so it looks maybe worse than it was, but the quarterback getting this is what surprises you, because then if you hold them to 120 and they throw for 170, you're sitting there going, yeah, good day, and for what they did, they haven't been a good running team. They're not great up front. Their head coach will tell you that themselves. But what they do is their tempo and how fast they go throws you for a loop, and you've got to play to that leverage. And I think we didn't do a good job of doing that at times.
The Pioneer defense led by David Johnson and Bryce Bartlett. David Johnson with a career best 10 tackles. Bryce Bartlett equals his career best with 10. Also left the game on the first series of the second half because of you got the 3 and out, and he was the reason, and I think that physicality from Bryce Bartlett also hurt somewhat.
Well, what it does is, we had put Leon in, who's more of a Sam, and we were trying to play a nickel concept, and Leon did an okay job. But it changes my coverage concept thoughts and how much I can do, because Bryce has been playing nickel the whole year. It just it scares you a little bit, and you can't be hesitant against a very, very fast offense. So I had to kind of X some things out that I might have wanted to run because I was a little nervous about it.
Right. All right. Pioneers offense, though, with Lorenzo Pratt, we're getting scary there because he's healthy for the first time maybe in his career at Tusculum, and maybe right at the right time as we head into a big showdown with the Wingate Bulldogs. Pioneers fall to VMI 20-11. We turn our attention to the Bulldogs in the regular season finale. We'll talk about Wingate when we continue after this. This is the Pioneer Football Show here from the Pioneer Sports Network.
The first date. Only one chance to make that first impression. Don't worry, this might be new for you, but Ingles has been there before. From flowers to the freshest ingredients, we have everything you need to put your best foot forward.
I'm so sorry.
Remember, you can't get to happily ever after without once upon a time.
Wow, it's funny running into you.
Ingles, all the ingredients for family. So much of life these days is rushing around from one place to another. Sometimes you just want to enjoy the journey on the way to the destination. And part of what makes it a little more enjoyable is an appreciation for the folks who help you get there. At Ingles, we know that the people who send you on your way are the same ones who keep you coming back.
I think you should take it for a spin. Are you serious?
Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
Welcome back into the Pioneer Football Show with Jerry Odom. The Tusculum Pioneers close out the regular season this Saturday as they travel to Wingate University to take on the Bulldogs, last year's conference champion and also the only participant in the NCAA postseason for the South Atlantic Conference last year. This year, we'll get into that a little bit more, but LR, the conference champion this year, looks to be poised to be in there, and the Bulldogs are hoping they would have a chance. And I'm sure that they're going to think that they don't want their chance spoiled this week. Last year, their chances were not spoiled, but the Pioneers spoiled their perfect season and maybe just a blueprint for West Florida and how to slow down that running game. Coach, we got a Wingate team. They're young at quarterback and young at the running game, but I think Shaw Crocker, along with Peoples back in the backfield, I think they've started to figure it out. This is an offense that's playing a lot better than they were.
Absolutely. I mean, they're the hottest offense in the league. I mean, they're running all over people, and they're throwing it, to veteran receivers now. I think their offensive line's playing better. We got a challenge, but I like a challenge. I think our guys are up for it. I hadn't seen anything. I thought our meetings were great. They're into it. They know that we haven't finished second in the league in a long, long time. So we've got a lot to play for too. We can't do anything about what happened with other games and things like that, but we can handle what's in the now, and that's all I tell them to do. We're trying to handle what's in the now and go out there and play our absolute best. It's the last time that this group dynamic is going to be together, and they like each other, and they want to play for each other. So I expect us to go out there and play very, very hard on Saturday.
Had a great chance to meet a couple of our offensive linemen, a couple of seniors in LaFleur and Napier this week, and talk to them about this game coming up, and they feel as if this Bulldog defensive line might be one of the more physical that they'll face, and they feel as if they have to be really in tune this week.
Yeah, I think so. I think, you look at their defense. I mean, statistically, they're probably the best defense in the league. Our guys want to be the best, and so we need to meet that challenge and try to outplay their defense, and then offensive line wise, we got to be perfect. We've been very, very. I think we're getting better on the offensive line. But they're going to challenge you. I think they're physical. Their three techniques as good as anybody in the league. You got a bunch of sacks. He's a matchup problem for people. They're going to play under and over fronts. 4-man fronts. Play some quarters, and then get them some one high man free stuff. They'll blitz you about 30-40% of the time on different down situations. They're very it's going to look a lot alike, folks.
Yeah.
I mean, they're who we are, we're who they are. They're probably on their offensive side. They're going to run the stretch, the power zone. They're going to give you a lot of unbalance and different formations. Try to hit you with play action. Trying to make you sleep. Get sleepy off the run. But they're physical up front. But they do probably the only difference they do. Maybe there's a little more out of the pistol and out of the gun than we do.
Yeah.
As far as that goes. But, it's a lot of the same concepts. So I think we'll be very familiar with how each other's trying to do what they're doing. But like I said, I mean, the Peoples guy, I mean, he's rushed for almost 700 yards now and about 450 in the last 2-3 games. So he's the hottest back in the league, and we've got to find a way to stop him and not give up passes to 8. Number 8 is 33 catches, 9 touchdowns, 700 yards, and then Mucklevane's good too. So they've got a good football team. I think Shaw Crocker's done a really good job. He's just athletic enough where they'll run some quarterback draws against Florida Tech. They hit them on 2 or 3 quarterback draws that gave them a chance to win that game on 3rd and long. So I think you got to be aware of what they're trying to do there. They do a really good job with their formations and their window dressing off of the power and then the play action off of the power, trying to get you off of different unbalanced looks. They'll come out with a bunch of different personnel groupings, 12, 11, 10, empty. You're going to see a little bit of everything, and I'm fine with that. That's kind of we're built for some of that because we do it a lot ourselves, so we see it a lot in practice. But at the same time, I think Joe and those guys have done a phenomenal job grooming those younger guys, like you talked about earlier, along, and they're playing at a very, very high level. It's going to take everything we got And this is definitely a two screws ball game. I mean, this is going to be a physical battle, and that's how we got to make it. Now, our guys are to the point where we like that better than we like getting spread out all over the place with, last week. And again, losing Randy from the Carson Newman game loses you a 230-pound, thick dude in the middle. I thought Chris played really hard, but he hurt us in some fits, and he knows that. But he did a lot of good things too. But I think getting him back will really help. Now we can slide Chris out to his natural position, outside linebacker, where he's a little more comfortable. So, we've got a challenge, but I'm looking forward to it. I love Joe. I love Coach Wright. I think he's a great guy, really good person. I think their staff is quality people in first class, and they're going to do things the right way. It'll be a good crowd there at senior day, so it'll be exciting. And I, playing on the road, it's fun. To me, I mean, you're going in there, you got the guys that have been with you the whole time. You got to get up in there back to back and fight your way out. And that's what we'll have to do, because the only people who will be there will be some parents and some, a couple diehards, and the parents of our kids, and we'll try to win it for them and win it for each other, and hopefully leave this thing on a solid note. And be second in the league, be 5-2 in the league, and that'd be a heck of a way to go out and have a 6-4 record. I wish we'd have gotten to play 11. It made me feel a little bit better about it, but I know we're getting better. We're not there yet. We got to get more consistent play in a couple positions. But if we're very, very close to being a pretty darn good football team, and we just got to keep grinding and keep trying to change the culture of what we're trying to build here.
Pioneers, last time they were at Wingate, played in the day, but we needed lights because the hurricane was.
We played in a hurricane.
Yeah, we
about
did.
15 inches of rain. That was the craziest game I've ever been a part of.
It was wet, and
that's an understatement.
It was dark. Now they have lights, and we're going to play at 3 o'clock this
great.
Saturday, because they like playing these night games. They figured out they like playing these night games there at Wingate University. The Bulldogs are 8th in the region, moving up 1 spot from last week after falling behind to Limestone, coming from behind and winning that contest. And now they've moved up a spot in the region. In the region, from 5 on down, everybody has lost a minimum of 3 games. The Pioneers have lost 3 Division II games. Would they sneak in if they're to knock off Wingate, and Wingate is to move up into 6, because the teams that are ahead of them also drop and lose their 4th games this week? A lot to play for outside of just number 2 in the South Atlantic Conference, because you finish 2 in the league, you may find yourself 5 in the region when it's all said and done with. Just food for thought for the Pioneers.
I didn't even look at that. So way to go. You make me feel better.
That's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on here.
All right.
Okay.
Get my juices flowing.
In 2008 was the last time the Pioneers finished 5-2 in the South Atlantic Conference. That year they won the league at 5-2 in South Atlantic Conference action. Pioneers take on the Wingate Bulldogs to close out the regular season. A lot to play for this week for this Tusculum team. Wingate and Tusculum will kick off at 3. Join us on the Pioneer Sports Network at 2 o'clock. That's 95.5 FM, AM 1450, around the world through TusculumPioneers.com. Shout out to my mates at Wingate on the ESPN3 broadcast. Ryan Brown and that crew do a phenomenal job. It will not hurt my feelings if you want to watch their broadcast and do those things. You can listen, but you can watch what they do.
Watch them, listen to them.
And it will be absolutely fine. So Joe and I will be on at 2 o'clock. He's Jerry Odom, Nick Forsberg, Dom Donnelly, Jim Miller behind the scenes. Until next week, Brian Staten, go Pioneers.
The Pioneer Football Show with head coach Jerry Odom. Complete coverage of Pioneer football. 2020 hindsight with coaches and player interviews, along with the numbers behind the scoreboard. The Pioneer Football Show with Jerry Odom. A presentation of Tusculum University Athletics.